Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Higher Achievement's annual town hall. My name is Ronnie Davis. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Director of Program Operations at Higher Achievement Richmond. Thank you for spending your lunchtime with us. Please take a moment to introduce yourselves in the chat while I go over a few quick housekeeping rules. We're going to keep our program to a brief, energy-filled 30 minutes, followed by 15 minutes for questioning, including a few from our scholars at the end. Your microphones are automatically muted, and you are welcome to have your cameras on or off. Please keep your microphones on mute until we get to the question and answer time. The program will be recorded and sent out via email tomorrow. Closed captioning and Spanish interpretations are both available this afternoon. To view the closed captions, click the live transcript button at the bottom of your screen and click Show Subtitles. To access Spanish interpretations, click Translation at the bottom of the screen. We're going to hear a variety of voices from Higher Achievement today, including staff, scholars, and mentors from across our centers at Baltimore, Prince George County, DC, Alexandria, and Richmond. First, I'd like to pass the mic over to our CEO, Lindsay, who will share a reflection from the past year at Higher Achievement.
Thank you so much, Renee. It's so great to have you here. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lindsay Wood Jeffries. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm so proud to be the Higher Achievement CEO. I'm here to update you on the last year and to share what is ahead. So let me tell you about last year. Last year, we got to return to welcome our scholars back to Higher Achievement in person after 18 months of virtual. We got to welcome them back safely into hugs and high fives, back to mentors and academic support, and back into our culture of love and learning. I got to serve as a volunteer tutor this year at Ward 4 every week in DC, and it was both grounding and uplifting to be with my scholars, Bradley, Veronica, Jacob, Lejanique, and Samuel. Well, this past school year was a return. It was not a return to normal. Far from it. Normal wasn't working for our scholars, and we did our best to set up a new, better normal for them. Yet, the challenges were significant. Quarantines continued to disrupt our work like many others. In fact, nationwide, 17% of learning time was disrupted by quarantines last year. Given the data on learning loss, we implemented literacy tutoring this year, but implementation was challenging as well. Those challenges included recruiting enough mentors in this labor market while managing full-time staff turnover, the need for more training, all while grappling with our scholars' needs for deeper social emotional supports and joy in learning. Scholar recruitment was challenging over the past couple of years due to COVID precautions, which led to a decline in our scholar rosters. And lastly, background check backlogs in DC led to up to 12-week delays before staff and volunteers were permitted to be in person in schools. McKinsey has described COVID educational recovery as K-shaped. Picture the letter K. The upper vector of the K being high income, mostly white students who got the extra mental health and academic supports that they needed and have now fully recovered largely from the struggles of virtual learning. That lower vector of the K is lower income students, mostly students of color, who did not get enough of the supports that everyone has needed. Demographically, our scholars match that lower vector, but academically, they are either at or above pre-COVID levels as measured by their math and reading grades. I'm really proud of our scholars' resilience and their success. We also want to celebrate our expansion. Last year, we opened a new center in Baltimore at Highlandtown 237. We are so proud to partner with their growing immigrant community and offer our program entirely in Spanish for the first time ever. Shout out to our founding learning director and learning coordinator, Milan and Bentley, and Highlandtown's principal, Denise Ashley. I'm also so proud of how we've advanced our diversity, equity, and inclusion work. with our DEI Council and our first ever DEI Director, Dr. Tony Woodlawn. We're putting our commitments from 2020 into concrete action with staff and board practices, fundraising and communication strategies, volunteer training, and more. All of this success is due to the dedication of our community, all of you and many more. First, our amazing staff, both full and part-time, our volunteers, our board members, our donors, school partners, families, and most importantly, our scholars. Now, I'd like to turn it over to them to reflect on their challenge, share their reflections on the past year. Let's hear what they have to say.
Well, during the pandemic, one of my biggest struggles was actually being focused. I just didn't want to be there and I didn't give it my all.
Distractions like your phone, video games, computer, and all that stuff.
One of my biggest challenges would probably be like coming back, because like the whole pandemic thing was so big, so that was kind of scary.
It was very, very different because last time we had a full school year. We was in 5th grade, the 6th grade got cut short. So like it was weird trying to like go back into this environment to see people in person again. It's a relief because online wasn't as good as being able to be here and actually interact with things.
I very much been thinking about what high school I want to go to.
We've been doing a lot of the high school preparation material. We did a lot of like the school searching, the requirement searching, videos, the college. Then it went to colleges.
I joined to plan for my future. Like I thought you can only apply for colleges. I didn't know we were allowed to apply for high schools, but now that we could, like I thought it was a way better opportunity. But I had to set my eyes on like what I really want to do when I grew up to pick the high school that's best for my career choice.
High school placement has been very helpful because at times it was stressful, but knowing that in the future it will come to a better goal, it would really just make me want to do it more so I could have a better future. It kind of like gave me more ideas of what I want to do in the future. And then the whole essay writing and all that, I guess we kind of talked about it and like learned how to prepare for it more. So that really helped.
They gave us like ideas we could do, like helping us like make sure it was like proper like grammar and things, like rereading it, giving us like, oh, instead of doing this, you should do this, and like helping us like research about the high schools that we wanted to go to.
I've used like all of my skills from my whole middle school year to prepare me for this moment. Miss Page has also been a big help because they give me different like points to use.
If you have homework, that the mentors will help you with your homework. And if you don't have homework, we do lesson plans. And the lesson plans are basically like something you talk about that could possibly help you in your future or help you grow in a certain way.
Mentoring is very helpful because to know that you have somebody that's so supportive and going to continue to be supportive as you're leaving middle school is just like the best thing ever. I see the academic growth, and that's a big accomplishment. And I firmly believe that higher achievement played a part in that because it enforces the material in a fun way. Not all kids like are able to get that extra time after school to work on it.
One of my accomplishments is definitely my grades. My grades are like spot on,
My PSAT score was higher than 70% of other people in Prince George's County. And for my report card, I got all A's and 1B, which is the best I've had in a while.
One of the things I'm most proud of is getting AP honor rolls.
Well, the top of all will be getting accepted into Poly. Since it's been like my dream high school since 6th grade, it's just a new step in my life, and like leaving middle school to like be like moving to early adulthood. It's just so exciting for me. That's like one of the biggest accomplishments.
They all support each other and prop up each other. And again, realize everybody has strengths and weaknesses.
That's
So
amazing.
everybody roots for and supports and helps. And I think they'll feed off each other.
Everybody in higher achievement, they all have a goal, and it doesn't matter like if our goals are different or if they're trying to get there a different way. Like I like connecting with people with the same type mindset who just drive for a specific goal. Higher achievement is like a little community, like it's a community, and it brings people together. Like it doesn't matter if they have different ethnic groups or different backgrounds or different religions. They all come here to have fun and come here to thrive and have this opportunity Higher Achievement provides us. It doesn't matter how big or small the community is. It gives us an opportunity that other people in other schools don't have. So we have to use our resources, which is what they give us.
I think you got it. I think you got it.
You to all of our amazing scholars and mentors who shared their reflections from the past year. And thank you, especially to Devontae, for expressing what it means to be a part of the higher achievement community. Hello, everyone. My name is Yasha Rasunaguko. My pronouns are she, her, and I am one of the directors of program operations here at Higher Achievement, DC Metro. Research has continued to demonstrate the need for individualized academic support to address the gaps in instruction throughout the pandemic. Higher Achievement has stepped in to fill these gaps and help our scholars reach their educational goals. This year, we focused our academic support on helping scholars strengthen foundational literacy skills that will equip them for success in high school and beyond. We offered this support through a new adaptive literacy program called Achieve 3000. Achieve 3000 assesses each scholar's Lexile level and individually adjusts reading content to help propel these scholars and their reading growth. Through the lessons, scholars sharpen their reading comprehension, their vocabulary acquisition, and writing and communication skills. Our learning blocks were also built into our program model to give scholars time to complete their homework, work on high school applications, and participate in different academic electives with the support of our amazing staff. Despite the obstacles over the past 2 years, our scholars demonstrated their talents and abilities, and we have seen strong report card grades in both English language arts and math. Our scholars continuously grow and thrive academically, and we are so grateful to be able to challenge, support, and celebrate them along their way. I'd now like to pass it over to John, our Director of Program Operations in Baltimore, to talk about how we are supporting our scholars emotionally.
Thank you, Yasha, and hello, everyone. My name is John Smith, and I'm the Director of Program Operations for Higher Achievement Baltimore. Middle school is a critical time of growth and opportunity. And I'm sure we all remember what it was like to be in the midst of our middle school years. Scholars are exploring their interests, honing their academic strengths, and creating connections with their peers and adults in their community. At Higher Achievement, we have the privilege of supporting young people during this formative time, academically and socially. Over the past 2 years, scholars, teachers, families, and all of us have endured disruption and trauma in and out of our schools. This time has taken a toll on our scholars. So additionally to academic support, we're seeing a need for connection. The New York Times recently surveyed school counselors across the country, and 94% said that students are showing more signs of anxiety and depression than before COVID-19. And 88% said that students are having more trouble regulating their emotions, and nearly 3/4 said that they're having more trouble solving conflicts with friends. It is in this context that we welcome scholars back in person this program year. In addition to academic enrichment, staff have led an engaging and fun activities that gave scholars time to decompress, bond with their peers, and also restore critical social connections. Programming also included time for intentional social emotional skill building for scholars to advance their social awareness, decision-making, and also self-management abilities. Also, scholars begin to establish their sense of self. We are here to stand alongside them and encourage them every step of the way. Scholars are encouraged to step into leadership roles at center and also share their voice to shape their experience at higher achievement. Relationships have made all the difference this year, and we're grateful for the hundreds of volunteers who have showed up for our scholars every week to help them stay focused and motivated to reach their goals. Our mentors build meaningful relationships with scholars, and we are so grateful for the partnership. And so now I'm going to pass it over to Emma to speak more about the mentoring experience.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emma Maxwell. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Senior Manager of Volunteers and Curriculum at Higher Achievement. So in this past school year, Higher Achievement made a big investment in our scholars by expanding small group high school readiness mentoring to engage scholars of every grade level, not just 8th graders, in preparation for high school. Last summer, our program staff worked collaboratively to create a mentoring curriculum that strategically fostered scholars' social emotional development, provided opportunities for scholars to consider their options for the future, and helped them then set goals for their personal and academic growth, both short-term and long-term. By 8th grade, scholars leave Higher Achievement with confidence in their academic abilities and the tools that they need to pursue their chosen path for the future. Mentors are really essential partners to our scholars during this formative period through their support and encouragement. Mentors develop deep and meaningful bonds with scholars and help them to identify, express, and build confidence in their innate abilities and passions. We are currently recruiting mentors for the upcoming school year, and I really strongly encourage you to apply if you are not yet a mentor. If you are already a mentor, and I know we have some folks who are putting it in the chat, thank you. We really appreciate you. Your dedication to scholars is absolutely essential to the support that Higher Achievement provides. Higher Achievement mentors commit to attending center for 1 hour in the evening each week throughout the school year. So that's roughly September through May, but many of our mentors choose to return year over year. No experience is required. You don't need to be a teacher or to have worked with kids in tons of different ways. We are just excited to have you on board. We'll provide all of the materials, training, and support that you need both before you get started and on the ground. Background checks have been experiencing a backlog, so we are asking any potential mentors to please submit an application by August 31st. The sooner the better. Trainings will take place in September, and then you'll be able to start working with scholars in early October. You'll see a link in the chat now for you to sign up to be a mentor or to share with others in your network. Please consider applying. Mentors are really crucial. And now I'd like to hand it off to our fabulous Richmond Executive Director, Katie.
Thank you, Emma. My name is Katie Comerford. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Executive Director of Higher Achievement Richmond. The turbulence of the past few years has united us in shared experiences. We have seen the long-term impact of interrupted learning and celebrated the dedication of educators and mentors. We have felt the sting of systemic inequity and championed the expansion of opportunities for all young people. We have experienced the pain of isolation and the joy of reconnection. The past few years have brought us together and tightened the fabric of community surrounding our scholars. We cannot do our work alone. Families, school leaders, corporations, foundations, mentors, and donors. We are all partners in this work, and I am especially grateful to our supporters who have helped us propel our mission forward, especially today's corporate sponsor, Leidos, who has helped to fund our mission and encourage scholars through volunteer mentors. Greg Hellman, representing Leidos, is here with us today, in fact. Thank you, Greg, for your partnership in our mission. This year, we have continued to work collaboratively alongside community partners and schools to meet scholars' academic needs, connect them with encouraging adults, and provide them with unique enrichment opportunities. Thanks to a partnership with Merit Baltimore and BioEyes, this spring, scholars in Baltimore participated in a hands-on biology unit conducting research experiments using live zebrafish. In DC's Ward 4, scholars learned how to think like an architect and design their ideal school using hands-on activities during a workshop hosted by the team at LSM Architecture. As part of Women's History Month, the Washington Mystics visited our Ward 8 Center, where scholars participated in a basketball clinic, learned about women in sports, and got to ask questions about different career paths. Our scholars at the Binford Center in Richmond met with a muralist, Alfonso Perez, to learn about his work and to contribute to the inspiration and production of a mural. That mural is actually currently up in the Kids First Collective. We all have a part to play in supporting our young people, and I am enormously grateful for all the ways our community has come together this past year. Just as we are reflecting on our program year, 8th graders ended their time at Higher Achievement with reflections of their own. Scholars selected a medium of their choice to recall the highs and lows from middle school, share their memories of Higher Achievement, and look ahead to their dreams for high school. So please join me in welcoming Olivia, Salvador, and Diami as they share their reflections with us.
Being addressed as a scholar raised the standards about my humanity and my life and me being confident in who I am. My favorite moment is the culture house activities. We would spin a wheel, we would run down, and everybody would just applaud you and you just feel so welcome. Something I'll miss about Higher Achievement is probably the mentoring sessions and that moment where you can feel like you can finally open up to somebody that you trust. I'm going to Baltimore City College. Something I look forward to in high school is meeting new people and starting a mentoring group and learning how to help other people just like how I was helped.
Being in high school caused my mind to be stressed and feel as if we're flying high. Many boring classes would make me sigh. So many tests I almost cry. New school, but I won't be shy. Will high school turn out to be a lie? If so, please explain why. People will get in trouble. Mathematics will be a never-ending struggle. I'm not in the mood to go and I would rather stay in bed. I'd rather stay at home and do what I want instead. Higher Achievement has taught me a lot. Like taking a struggle today for a better tomorrow. I should work through life no matter how tough the situation. Always look forward and never look back. Be respectful to your peers and never have fear. Higher Achievement has taught me to learn from my mistakes. Don't stoop down to another level from the wrong friends you make. And never give up even when you're about to break. But I still have a feeling that being a student and being told what to do, not just at school but at home too, won't really help me grow from middle school. But Higher Achievement has helped me with my growth. I don't have to choose to be one way or another. I can be both myself.
I remember the chants, words of encouragement and rhythmic clapping every time you decided to share. I remember the fear when I walked through the double doors, one foot after the other, wondering what people were going to think. I remember the joy when the wind rushed past my face while I pressed gas and zoomed to win the race. I remember falling for the fake and the phony, the smiles that told stories, always hoping for me to lose my glory. I remember the excitement of meeting new people, making memories from each unique experience. I remember the praise. For every A, there seemed to be a hip, hip hooray, but I still lost motivation. I remember the angst felt when my brain filled with too many thoughts whenever a test was announced. I was always consumed by pointless worry. I remember being determined to be the very best at school, always going after approval from those that cared. I remember the hurt when they would call me names like bald-headed scallywag and dirty darky, just to make me feel bad, even though they looked like me. I remember the hope that I could follow my dreams to study music, but it's just not realistic. I remember the scores of these standardized tests that we place so much worth on just for us to forget. In this game, based on memory, I will remember the friendships that came and went, each one like a thread of fate, weaving, connecting, and breaking. Only the strongest thread would survive. I will remember the teachers that were there to guide me through my toughest emotions. For the longest, only they cared. I will remember the storm that cut my experience in half, the worldwide storm that everyone seemed to suffer from. I will remember Higher Achievement for giving me the confidence to meet and interact with people, to show my authentic self in whichever way possible.
Wow. Thank you, Olivia, Salvador, and Diami. Your words speak powerfully and poignantly to the experience in middle school, and we're so grateful for you having the courage to share them with us this afternoon. I can't wait to see what you do as Higher Achievement alumni. As we reflect back on the year behind us, we also look eagerly to the year ahead of us. In 22-23, we will continue to implement our COVID recovery model. Our focus, as always, is to prepare our scholars both academically and socially for high school. Our mentors are key parts in this mission. Learning from last year, we are ready for greatness. Staff engagement survey results are up, and we're in the middle of 8 weeks of supportive training and planning. We also look forward to infusing more joy into our programming as COVID restrictions relax, with more field trips, electives in arts, activism, and sports, with career exposure, hands-on activities. And in fact, later this month, scholars are going on college trips to Hopkins, Howard, American, James Madison, and GW. We've already heard interest from more than 300 potential scholars who want to join us next year, and we can't wait to open our doors to them and many more. As we wrap up the formal portion of our time together, we want to hear from you. So I'd like to turn it back to Renee, who will moderate our Q&A time.
Thank you, Lindsay. I know you all are eager to ask some questions, but first, we have a few scholars who put our staff in the hot seat. First, we have a question from Batanya.
My question is, what are your favorite parts about your job at Higher Achievement? And like, what are your favorite things that you've done like in your job? This question is actually for the CEO. My question is, what were your thoughts on like making Higher Achievement, and what did you want students like to be able to do and like to be able to know like before they join Higher Achievement?
All right, let's have James in the hot seat answering his favorite part about working for Higher Achievement, and then we'll turn it back over to Lindsay.
Thanks, Renee, and thank you, Batanya. It's a great question. My name is James Morgan, and my pronouns are he, him. As someone who has been on staff for over 11 years, I have many favorite aspects of Higher Achievement. It is impossible to work here and not be inspired by the scholars, families, mentors, and staff. Each person plays such an important role in ensuring scholars have a meaningful and impactful experience. But at the end of the day, my favorite part about working here is that Higher Achievement is never satisfied and is always striving to do more for scholars.
Thanks, James. And thank you, Batanya, for that question. I was actually not the person who founded Higher Achievement. It was founded way back in 1975, just before I was born, by an amazing, inspiring man named Greg Gannon. And his dream is what we are trying to deliver on still today, which is to close the gap between talent and opportunity for scholars like you and for many more. And so my hopes are that scholars feel loved and supported and productively challenged every day at Center, that we're a place for you guys to be your full selves and to grow academically and socially so you can go on to great high schools. And my wish is that all of you have all the paths available when you get to high school graduation, that you get to make the choice on what to do next, not anyone else and not any circumstance.
Thanks, Lindsay. So next up, we have a question from Danella, and it's another one for you, Lindsay. Your seat's on fire today.
This question's for the CEO. What goal did you want to instill into everybody in Higher Achievement? What life lesson did you want to make sure that they got by the end of this experience?
Thank you so much, Danella. My hope is that a few things. First, every scholar is proud of what they've done and who they are by the end of this experience. Second, that every scholar is accepted into a high school of their choice. That every scholar has at least 2 lifelong relationships that support them through thick and thin, and that those relationships started at Higher Achievement. And lastly, that every scholar stays involved with us, continues to give back to your communities as you grow up.
And our final question is from Princeton.
So literally just anybody who works at Higher Achievement, is there any way to like recommend students to join, or like, for example, like giving them flyers and stuff, or just telling them about Higher Achievement? To all the mentors, my question to them is, do you enjoy mentoring students in Higher Achievement?
So first, I can share how we recruit scholars. We work alongside schools and teachers to reach out to scholars and share what our program offers. We also receive referrals so that we know when rising 5th and 8th graders are ready, they know where to go. In local neighborhoods, scholars that would benefit from our programs are able to reach out to us. So if you know any 5th or 8th graders, 5th through 8th graders, who would be a great fit for Higher Achievement, you guys know where to send them. Now I'd like to get an answer on Princeton's question about mentoring from one of our mentors, Mr. Howard. Mr. Howard, could you share what you enjoy about it?
Good afternoon. Great question. So mentoring. One of the things I love most about mentoring is to watch the growth and development of the mentees. I have 2 stories that I can share with you guys, but one in particular is I had a mentee he had transitioned on to his high school of choice. He struggled a little bit in one of his algebra classes, but he persevered, got through it. Fast forward 2 years later, he sent me his report card and he got a 100 in pre-calculus as a result of that. So watching that development is something that really energizes me. Secondly, it's the family aspect. I try to treat all my mentees like basically my kids. And so watching them grow as a family and watch them give back. I heard one young lady say earlier today that it was her wanting to loop back and being part of her community. So when I hear stories like that, that just tells me that we're on the right track.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. And thank you everyone for taking out time in your day and for supporting scholars through these times. It is an enormous privilege and we are so grateful to share that with you. Your support through dollars, your time as mentors, and through your advocacy means so much. Remember, we are currently recruiting mentors for the upcoming school year. You can apply on our website, higherachievement.org through August 31st. Thank you all for joining us and enjoy the rest of your afternoons.